Hey, what is up guys, Murgaman4 here, and yesterday, the 13th Doctor was finally announced. So of course at the beginning of the year we discovered that Peter Capaldi would be leaving the role of the Doctor, and many were wondering when the 13th Doctor was going to be announced. I, for one, am glad that they waited until after Series 10. I wish that Capaldi hadn't announced that he was leaving at all, because then we could have seen, him start to regenerate and be all shocked. And of course, since his actual regeneration wasn't until Christmas, then they probably could have kept that under wraps pretty well. But in any case, Doctor number 13 was revealed yesterday, and it was to much surprise to some, much excitement to others, but overall the fan base is in quite an uproar right now. Me personally, I'm one of the people who is very surprised and not a huge fan of the decision, which I'm going to talk about in a separate video. But first things first, of course, if you hadn't heard by now, I don't know where you've been, because it's been all over the internet, but Jodie Whittaker is the 13th Doctor. And this means that for the first time ever, we have a female Doctor, which, as I said, I'm not exactly a big fan of, but that doesn't mean I'm instantly dismissing her. And so this video specifically is going to be talking about how I feel about Jodie Whittaker in the role, and not about the concept of a female Doctor in general. Like I said, that's for a separate video. Now for me, I was never really expecting it to be an actor or actress that I was familiar with. Most of the names that were being thrown around, I hadn't heard of them before, because me being Canadian, a lot of British celebrities aren't as well known over here. But who I was expecting was Chris Marshall, because that's the name that I had seen the most, and I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised if it wasn't Chris Marshall, but another man, but I was very surprised to see a woman. And that's because I knew that it was inevitable. I knew it was going to happen at some point, but I wasn't anticipating it for at least another 1 or 2 Doctors. I didn't think that they would do that yet. And so I was left very shocked and surprised, and I had never heard of Jodie Whittaker before. I've never seen Broadchurch, which of course Chris Chibnall, the new showrunner, is the showrunner of Broadchurch, and Jodie Whittaker plays a character in that. And so he knows Jodie Whittaker well, and they've worked together before, and so that does give me encouragement. And yeah, so I can't really judge anything about Jodie Whittaker because I have not seen her acting abilities. I have not seen anything from her yet. So I don't have any issues with Jodie Whittaker. I don't have any issues with Chris Chibnall, but I do have issues with the general idea of casting a female Doctor. And it's not even necessarily because it's a female Doctor. It's more to do with the change itself rather than the result of the change. But I'm not going to go into details of that here. I've seen a lot of good things about Jodie Whittaker, and of course, you know what, I know a lot of people have been saying, oh, there's a female Doctor, so the show's dying, I'm going to quit watching the show, and I think that is absolutely ridiculous. I disagree with the female Doctor, but I'm not closed-minded, I'm not insensitive. I am able to, go into the show with an open mind, and I want to give her a chance. And being the fan that I am, I want to see the show succeed. I have a lot of reservations about a female Doctor, but I want to be proven wrong. Of course, that won't be able to happen until we actually see Jodie Whittaker in the role, which won't happen until at least Christmas, when we get to see her post-regeneration scene. But even then, that's not really an accurate representation of who her Doctor will be, almost certainly. But yeah, like, being the fan that I am, I want to wait and see. I cannot judge yet. Most of my issues are with the general concept, as I said, and not with this specific situation, although I do have a couple of concerns, but I'm optimistic about her, and despite having reservations about a female Doctor, I'm sure that eventually she's going to win me over, and I'm going to be a fan of her Doctor just like I am of every other Doctor. It's just a matter of time and getting used to the idea, because this is only my second Doctor changeover, and this is my first time that I'll have experienced an entire Doctor's era live, because I wasn't introduced to Doctor Who until Series 5. Matt Smith's first series was almost done, and so even though Peter Capaldi was my first Doctor changeover, this is my first time actually having experienced a full Doctor's era live as it changes over. And so for me it's a little bit more difficult to let go of Peter Capaldi because I had to get used to him first, but when I was introduced, Matt Smith had always been the current Doctor, so for me it was easier for me to let go of Matt Smith than it is Peter Capaldi. And I think the other thing too is it's just you know, young to old is a lot less drastic of a change from man to woman, and especially because we've only ever had men in the role, but we've had various young and old actors in the role before. So this is completely new, and so it's going to be a bit more difficult to adjust to, I think, and get used to, because even Peter Capaldi, it took me until after his first season aired, which was about a year and a half after he was announced, before I finally warmed to him and truly thought of him as the Doctor. But I'm going into this with an optimistic mind, as I said. I'm sure Jodie Whittaker will do a great job. I don't doubt either Chris Chibnall's writing abilities or Jodie Whittaker's acting abilities. I think that they're going to do their best to bring us a great Doctor, and I hope that I can be proven wrong in my reservations and that I'll end up loving her. But yeah, those are just my quick thoughts and opinions on Jodie Whittaker. I'm going to post a video in a little while as well. That's just my general reservations about a female Doctor, and that'll probably be a little bit more in-depth than this, but yeah, I'm cautious, but I'm optimistic. That's pretty much what I want to say. And so please put in the comments below what you think of Jodie Whittaker. Do you think she's a great choice? Do you think she's a bad choice? And how do you feel about a female Doctor? Now, I will say this. If your reasoning for not liking the casting of Jodie Whittaker is because she's a woman, I think you've got it a little bit wrong. If you've seen her in other stuff and you don't like the way she acts and you don't think that she'll play a good Doctor, fair enough. But if you're judging her just on the fact that she's a woman, then I think you need to reassess it a little bit, because once again, like I said, I don't have reservations about a female Doctor necessarily because it's a female, but more because of the drastic change. So yeah, I think if it's something that's going to cause you to leave the show, at least give it a chance first. That's what I'm saying, because that's what I'm doing. If you're a true fan of the show, you should be optimistic about it and you should want it to succeed. And if you give it a go and you don't like it, fair enough. But if you give up before you even give it a chance, then I don't like that kind of attitude towards it. So yeah, but now I'm finally going to end the video. I know I said a while back, that's all I have to say, but okay, this is really all I have to say. So thank you guys so much for watching. Murgaman4, over and out. I'll see you guys later.